Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have another SMB3 Randomizer race today. We have MidiGuyDP taking on NoblytheForeign. MidiGuy, this is his last two matches in group play. On pace to be the 1 seed in this tournament. He's had 4 very fast seeds, very fortunate draws that he's had. So 2 more decently paced ones, and he might end up with the 1 seed. Nobly has some work to do if he wants to make it into the brackets. He's up against a good opponent in MidiGuy, who made the brackets last year. What world are we going to start out in, folks? I'm going to guess World 3. About 15 seconds here. These are Group 2 flags. The end card is on, however, hammers do not break locks. They only break rocks. So we'll see if they choose to play it and what kind of strategy they want to take. We start in World 4. It's an easy decision. I take the only pipe you can go. Oh boy, this is what we waited for, chat. This is exactly why we watch Randomizer. 7-1, with no opportunity for a power-up. They're going to have to play this straight up, small. And this level can be very trolly, so see what kind of enemies we have here. And this is a spike, so not going to be able to get a power-up in that block. I'd take that shell if it were me, because right here, this is... Okay, they got a friendly draw. If that's a red fire piranha, that area can be a complete disaster. And MidiGuy gets through it unscathed. Nobly, he had it. Looks like he might end up unscathed as well. Good start to this randomizer. Let's see if Midi takes the pipe. If there's a fort that needs to be played for progression. Okay, there isn't, but he's going to go play the first fort near the castle. Honestly, in my experience, the fort that's like closest to the castle in this sort of situation never builds the bridge, but I think I might just be an unlucky person. So Nobly gonna stop off at the Toad House and get a fire flower. Good item to have. If it were me, I'd be trying to save it to the end so I have something to kill Bowser with. And there you go. The wrong fort. Right fort is the one that is the least obvious 80% of the time, I would say. And Nobly went ahead and played it, so he is going to have a little bit of a lead here as long as he can stay away from these hot feet. And he gets by. Power up. Midi gonna take the lower ground. With the star, he does not want to grab this, but he does anyways. Because now he can't go up the pipe until the star is gone. You can't enter a vertical pipe while you're doing the somersault that Mario does when you get a star, so Nobly is a little bit ahead, going to take the pipe. And see that is free to the end, skips the Hammer Brother as well, so he is on to the World 1 airship. And Midi is not far behind him. So Midi is about 8 seconds behind, and he played a whole extra fort, so... Excuse me, good race so far. Iggy is going to be 1 hit. He's a bouncy one today. 2, 3... Oh boy. 4, he is all 5 hits today. Midi actually got through a little cleaner, so he's going to have a couple seconds lead. As they both take the fall. What world do we have next? I'm going to go with World 2. Gets a frog suit, and it is World 2. Cool. Forced fort, since there's a lock. Midi's probably going to take a damage boost here and go for the P-speed strats. The strats here are very consistent as long as you hit all your jumps. The enemies are basically the same except for the one in the beginning and that one right there. However, you can get through this fort pretty quickly as long as you just keep moving forward. Nobly does stop for a second, but he's right back to it. Gets through with the fire flower, so he should be able to save a couple seconds getting a fire kill here. And he does. The end card spawns at 80,000 points. Midi choosing to ignore it. Gets a fire flower. Watch out for boss bass here. No boss bass, but very trolly enemy set. And he is not going to go for the item. Let's see what Nobly chooses to do. Doesn't look like he is going to go for the item as well, so... Gets a star though, that'll bring him to the end. MidiGuy comes up on our first hand stage. Every item in the hand stages during the seed are going to be the same, so this seed, it looks like we are going to have... Music box. It has its niche uses, but overall not really the item you want to see. And here is 2-3 with a boss bass. Another level that can be difficult depending on the enemy set. Luckily, the enemies here are friendly outside of the boss bass, so we shouldn't have any trouble getting to the end here. Gotta watch out for this micro Goomba, and he gets by. Nobly taking an unfortunate death in this level. He's gotta be careful here. MidiGuy's going through the pipe. He's got to fight some Sledge Brothers for an item. Let's see what he gets here. Nobly's still having some trouble in this 2-3. Gets a music box. Again, not really what he wants to see at all. Midi comes up on the pyramid stage, or no, this is the, this is 4-3. A fun level to P-speed through if you can. In Rando, it's kind of difficult. Nobly just having all sorts of trouble in this 2-3. Midi takes some damage. He's got to be careful here. No other power-ups for the rest of the level. Some tight jumps at the end, and Nobly is just... He might want to go to the Toad House and get an item or something. He's got to get through here. He's on his last life. It's a second box. Meanwhile, Midi presses on into the World 2 airship, which happens to be the World 7 airship, so one of the longer ones. You can time it out in the middle here and get a bit of a P-speed to make it faster, which he does. Going for 2 long jumps instead of the choppier jumps. Gets to the end. He's going to fight Morton, who is 1 hit. 2 hits for Morton, so not a very tough Koopa Kid. It looks like Nobly is going to get through here, and get an extra life, so that will give him a little bit of cushion going into the rest of the world. And with the end of World 2, Get your guesses in chat for what the third world is going to be. I'm going to say World 3. That Wendy out there. And it's World 5. A little bit of a longer draw. It's interesting here because he has to play 2 levels and then a fort to get over to the other side. And over there is a castle that takes you up towards the top as well as a pipe. So he's going to check the pipe first. But it might be beneficial to play through the fort depending on where that ends up. So getting trolled by all sorts of enemies in a lot of the levels that they're playing. Nobly, be careful. Alright, he's through. Another boss bass. That's like 3 levels, I think, so far with the boss bass. Midi is getting a little crazy there for a second. Seems playing a little jittery today. Yeah, he's taking some damage in some places that he normally wouldn't. Nobly himself is getting on the World 7 airship. MidiGuy finishes the Bullet Bill stage, the only stage that you'll find the homing Bullet Bill in. And the fort to be played, the Build-A-Bridge, is going to be the Navy. One of the fastest forts you can play. Very simple to learn the P-Speed strats. It's just getting P-Speed initially and then just making some simple jumps until the end. Boom boom, no problem for MidiGuy. Nobly jumping for the wand would save probably about half a second if you let it come to him. Midi definitely going to check the pipe first. And okay, so definitely better to take the pipe. There's no reason whatsoever to take the Twisty Castle. Midi gets early P-Speed in Desert Fort. Not even bothering with the power-up, just gonna go ahead and finish the stage. Three high jumps, and then you usually have clearance underneath to get the P-Speed. Midi is about 3.5 stages behind, or in front at this point, I would say. Nobly finding the difficult enemy set in 1-2 that Midi already went through. Midi is going to take the time to invest in a hammer bro, and he gets a hammer, so useful. And a fire flower at that, so a free power up, free hammer. He's going to try to take the damage boost off the Lakitu. He gets it, does not get the P-Speed on top, however. He's not going to go for the Lakitu jump here. Doesn't quite get the fast swim off that block, takes 2 hits. Lakitu's a sniper. Going to get through though. Nobly really doesn't want to get eaten again by Boss Bass, so he's taking his time, can't really blame him. And MidiGuy finds 1-1, which in Rando is not the easiest of seeds depending on the enemy draw. He's gonna get full power-ups again and go for P-Speed here. Gets through, takes a little bit of damage, but no harm, no foul. To answer the question in chat, the warp whistles are not on in this tournament. The items that you would find in the normal warp whistle locations have been replaced with regular items. So the 1 Fort, 1-3, and the Hammer Brother in World 2 will just be any regular item outside of a whistle. MidiGuy finishes the third world. Get your guesses in chat for the next one. I'm going to say World 1. Let's go back to the beginning. Nobly is getting a match in the end card, and it is World 1. Getting 2 matches. Let's see if he opens his menu. He doesn't. MidiGuy in Piranha Alley, which he's making short work of with the Fire Flower. Definitely one of those levels that you want a Fire Flower or a tail. He's not going to despawn Boss Bass in the middle pipe. He's just going to go for it. Avoids all the riffraff and gets through. Very nicely done on his part. A long World 1 as well. Gonna have to play 5 levels here. The P-Speed strat in this level is consistent no matter what. So it's actually easier, in my opinion, to just do the P-Speed strat on that level as opposed to going through it normally. Lack of tool usually gets you. Midi is pressing on. He finds 2-2. Another level that's very difficult to get P-Speed in, but you can make some long jumps here at the end. And a relatively tame level. Nobly finds himself in 4-4. Does not get the lack of 2 bounce. But he gets his revenge with a fire kill on him. This is probably one fort that MidiGuy is going into, and it's not. Wow. 7F2 in World 1. That's technically... Oh. MidiGuy switched up for a tail and almost floated right into the abyss, into the lava. Gets a star. This will take him to the end screen, where he'll probably damage boost, yep, and take on Boom Boom. So if I have a cloud, I'm probably taking the death there and just skipping 7F2. Not necessarily because it's difficult, but because it is one of the longer stages, and it's not required if you had a cloud, so... Don't know if Midi has one or not, can't remember. Midi finds 7-4. A terrible level, in my opinion. The auto-scroller is off, so that makes it a little better. However, the sea creatures in this level can be very trolly. Just get in your way. Bloopers just bloop right into your area, and there's nothing you can do to avoid them. But Midi getting somewhat tame and a fire flower, so he'll be able to take out whatever's in his way. And Nobly finishes World 3. Midi avoids the 3 flower fanfare. Wanted to music box this bro, however, it is a very good thing that he didn't, because he definitely has 2 hammers now. And we have not seen World 3 or 6. So 2 hammers can be useful in 6, and 2 hammers can be very, very useful in World 3, so we'll see where if he's able to make use of them. Nobly showing just exactly why this level sucks. No fire flower, just damage boost through and get by. It's pretty much what you have to do. Midi through World 4, a longer seed on a 36-minute pace at this point. Still has some of the longer levels too, so Midi's luck on the short seeds might be coming to an end. Unless we can get Dust Minion in here to roll the second one. Nobly finding 3 1-ups in the midpoint of this stage. Double hammer is probably not very useful here. He can save 1 level. Or save his hammers for 6. And I honestly, I think this is probably the right play. I mean, you're only saving... Oh. Missed platforms, takes a dive, snipes the Koopa in the meantime. I think he's a little unsure about what the best routing is here, and I think that sort of took his mind off of what he was doing. It's easier to sit back and comment on the routing, but I think he's making the right play. It's 1 level that you have to play versus potentially a whole world of levels in World 6 if the hammer is useful there. I mean, this world you're only skipping 1 level max, so... Oh. Nobly takes damage, and unfortunately, when that happens, right before you're about to jump, it can delay your input, so he falls into the abyss. MidiGuy finding 5-1. This is a very fun fort to speedrun if you manage to get P-speed early. Waffle said no to MidiGuy obtaining that. Oh, careful, Nobly. Alright, avoids damage, avoids falling in the pit. MidiGuy is going to take care of Boom Boom here. So he's gonna do some pipe checks now. He's got all the information that he needs as far as the pipes. It's just a matter of if he's gonna have to play a fort or not. And he doesn't, thankfully. There was a lock on the prize island or the mini island at the end, so MidiGuy, that would have been a very long World 3 if that did not break or give him the clearance towards the end. So luckily he didn't have to play an extra 2 levels in a fort. So MidiGuy out of World 5 at 21:15. He's going to be about a world and a half ahead right now. Nobly finding the Piranha Fort. We'll see if he chooses to play through it or if he has a cloud. Probably doesn't have a cloud, so he's playing through it. He's got the Tanuki. Should help out a lot. Guide his jumps. Avoids the damage by the Thwomp Midi in World 6. There's 110 panel. Thankfully, he has the Fire Flower for 7-6 here. A lot easier to clip than with a tail or frog suit. He already had to play 7-1 small, so he's had enough of these types of levels. Midi having some trouble here clipping. As long as he gets it by like okay, there we go. So he still saved time on the level. That is a extremely long level. Basically clipping in your first 25 or 30 tries will save time there for you. So he's just going to use his hammer right now. He had 3 hammers. Interesting. Wondering why he didn't double hammer then. And 1 bridge is out, so he's going to have to complete 1 fort. Opts to play the coin ship. Maybe hoping for a hammer suit or a cloud. It's a P-wing. We have not seen the World 6 airship, so that's a good place to use a P-wing if you got one. And there's the second 10 panel, so 2 forts in World 6. TBD on which one is going to... They might both be required. haven't seen a lock. Or wait, no, they can't be. Midi might have to take the pipe and go back left. Because we haven't seen where the second fort is yet. Midi finds 3-1. Some nice P speed over all the enemies to get to the end. He's going to keep his Fire Flower, saving even more time on the Boom Boom kill. Nobly finds his World 5 airship. Gonna do some... Oh, a little short on that jump. Okay, so there's the second fort. So yeah. I mean... Check. Check, and if not, go back and do what he was going to do, break that lock. But, yeah, so... That broke the lock in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, so he knows he has to come back and play this fort. So, yeah, break the lock. It's going to save you a level. And it's 8 fort, the Gatekeeper. Already has a Fire Flower, doesn't need to stop for a power-up. Let's see if he can one-cycle. Let's see if he can one-cycle without taking damage. Jumps over the boo. Nice. Oh. Not a good pattern when you get a dry bones like that with the waffles coming towards you. You're gonna get the one psycho. There's not really much you can do there other than just damage boost through it, but he wants to keep his Fire Flower and I don't blame him. Nobly choosing to kiss the sky. Oh, Matty J. To get to the end of that level, which it's a good strat. You avoid all the enemies, so... MidiGuy is done in World 6, though, so he is going to head to the airship. We'll see if he realizes he hasn't seen the 6 airship and use a P-Wing. And he doesn't, so... Could have saved a little time there, but... I think he is trying to keep his Fire Flower, more importantly, over anything else, so... Don't really blame him there. And the World 6 airship is probably the hardest airship to get the fire kill on Lemmy, and got stuck back there, but thankfully he was 4 hits and got him before he could take a life from him, So Vanilla World 6 and Vanilla World 7 to finish out the seed. A slow seed. I guess commentator cursed them, or cursed Midi. Commentator Jinx. "27 minutes after 6 worlds, that's not the greatest feeling. Gonna choose to just play this fort, which it's a good idea, you never have to come back for it. Odds are something's blocking the end, does a nice damage boost and P-speeds right to the end. Well, got a little hung up on the corner. Midi seems to, this seed, for whatever reason, it seems like his character is getting caught up on corners more than normal. It's definitely happened to me before, so you know what happens. Let's see, there's no 10 panel yet, so there might be 2 forts. That's 1... There's 3 forts, actually. So there's 1 lock. That fort did something on the final island. It built the bridge that he needed to, so this is a pretty jet World 7. Luckily for Midi. So it's really fortunate that he didn't have to bother with, you know, going through pipes, and Nobly gets a nice clip with the tail. That's not easy to do. It's significantly harder, in my opinion, to do it with the tail than without. But yeah, thankfully Midi didn't have to with the pipes, figure out which fort did what. So he's going to be heading into World 8, just under 30 minutes. Great, World 8, the Great Equalizer. We'll see what it has in store for him this seed. In the driver's seat right now, Nobly is a little far behind. Alright, so 3 pipes to start. Not the start you want to see. The tank is the regular tank, which is essentially a level because it does not break a lock, so he is going to take the intentional death there and start doing some pipe checks. Pipe 1 takes him to the dark world. He doesn't even want to bother. He's going to go see where the other ones go. This pipe... Second pipe goes to the bottom right part of the dark world, but there's a lock, so we can't do anything with that. And the third pipe takes him to the L in the hand bridge. Oh no. Oh! I didn't even know that was possible. Midi is all over the place right now. Saves it. Last minute save with the tail there. I agree with this play. He checked all 3 pipes. This is the only way to this fort, and he's here. So we might as well just play it. No star for the bro kill. But this still might turn out to be a pretty decent seed, depending on what the dark part of the world gives him. That hand bridge looks a little menacing as well. Yep, so he's going to go back to the first pipe and do some digging in the dark portion. Okay, so that's 2 locks in that area. There's a bunch of pipes over here. Guaranteed to go to the hand bridge. Or not. He's going to check the second one. This is guaranteed to go to the hand bridge. And decisions. I think he has to go that way. Yeah. He's going to have to go across that hand bridge whether he likes it or not, so might as well just go through it now and scope it out. He really doesn't want to go there, but he's going to have to. And the level in question is something. A level that I know you want a tail for, because you can float over this part with the note bridge. So, ideal power up there to have. He's going to get through with no problem. Nobly showing alternate route in 8 Fort, where the diagonal thwomps are. It's pretty cool. You don't see that too often in Rando or Vanilla. Midi using a P-Wing, hoping for Fort Knox. However, it is 3F2 in World 8. Seed is validated once again. I think he might be good here. If he's not, he'll have 1 bridge that's out because there was a lock on the other fort. Or in the other screen, so the way this seed is going, I'm sure it's probably going to have backtrack. Let's see how his hand luck is. Oh! Gets grabbed on the hand, and it's Atlantis. So, hopefully, he can get through this and everything that needs to be built is built. Man, gets grabbed 3 out of 3 times. There's no way he's going to play this, so... 4 times. Wow. Starting to approach Macobra luck. Midi is pretty comfortably ahead, however, he does not know how far ahead he is of Nobly, so he's probably panicking right now. And it is 1 bridge with a level panel, and now he's got to try to go the other way. So, I mean, he's getting low on lives. If he game overs here, he's going to have to replay that first level of the handbridge area, but he gets through. Nice. And he's going to go try to play out of power-ups, basically. Going to play Fort Knox first. Midi gets his tail. And makes short work of Boom Boom. So if this breaks the lock in the bottom right, he's got to play another fort. Otherwise, he's clear. And he's clear to go back to the hand stage, that is. It's not clear to get by Atlantis, necessarily. Alright, he gets by. Gotta play this level, which is a beta stage of some sort. Pretty consistent run through this level. The enemies don't really vary that much. You can get some nice P speed pretty much till the end. He's gonna make short work of it. And enter Bowser's Castle. So Midi is heading into Bowser's Castle at 3620. Doesn't even bother going in the top row. He's got a tail. Clips are pretty much out at this point. He'll check the power-up before the fireball hallway here to see if there's a fire flower. I doubt he'll go bottom route, but we'll see. And gets a star, so he is going bottom route. One more chance at a power-up. It's got to be a fire flower, and it's not. So he's going to have to kill... Nobly got a nice off-screen wand grab on the airship there. Midi guy fighting Bowser in an arena that's a little difficult than the top route, but Bowser does not have a hitbox, so all he has to do is duck. Or while he's small, just avoid Bowser's head, and 5 jumps is all it's going to take. Yes, Bowser's hitbox is only in his head. This was the case in the original game, as well as the randomizer. One more jump here, and that's going to do it. So, oh, Nobly missed the platform. So Midi is going to finish this first seed at 38 minutes. Let me get the official time. 38 minutes and 7 seconds. Nobly is going to forfeit this race. He's had enough. So stay tuned. We got the second seed coming up in a few minutes. So yeah, we'll see you all there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. As somebody pointed out in chat, that win for MidiGuy was his 5th. So the worst he can do is 5-1. So he is guaranteed to get a spot in the brackets. Just going to determine, or we just have to figure out the seeding at this point. Nobly had some nice movement in the first seed. Took a few unfortunate deaths. We're gonna get started here in about 10 seconds. So get your guesses in chat what the word order is gonna be. I want to say World 1 to start. And it is World 5. I was about to say that too. Gonna be a long open to this world. Opens up with the tanks, so this is a good opportunity for them to get an item. The tanks is shuffled into the regular stages since it does not break a lock. Nobly mistimes his jump, unfortunately, and takes a cannonball to the face. And Midi gets through cleanly. Vanilla rang bro, so what's the item gonna be? An anchor. So an anchor can be anything but a hammer or a warp whistle. We'll see when they decide to use it. And another... Last seed they got 7-1 as the first level. Here they got 7-6. However, Midi was fortunate enough to get through the tanks without losing his power-up. Nobly is not going to be as lucky, so he might be using his anchor early. Midi gets the clip very, very quickly, so it's a pretty good time save for him. And the fort is going to be 5-2. 5F2. Plays the same pretty much every time. You get early P speed and just coast to the end, or if you take the slower route, just make sure that you aren't stopping. So Nobly is trying to go through this 7-6 here. If it were me, I would probably reset and get that power up in the tank area. Midi probably going to play the fort here. Or have to play the fort, but he's going to take a look first. And he doesn't, so good call on his part to check that out. If it were the paradox pipe, I would imagine he would probably have taken him to death to see where the pipe would take him, so he does save a little bit of time. Well, not save time, really, but makes a good call of just going for the pipe and not playing the fort. He's going to take on Roy, who's a one-hitter. Soft Roys today. All of them are soft. Nobly manages to get through 7-6, but loses a pretty significant amount of time there. Midi through World 5, which is pretty fast considering he had to play 4 levels right out of the gate. Or 2 level, 3. I don't know what I'm saying. And we got level 1, there it is. So 2 forts. Looks like he's gonna have to play both of them. Because one is going to break the lock and the other is going to break the bridge. Gets nice P speed, avoids the cheap. Nobly is searching everywhere for a power-up. He gets it, but it's a little too impatient, and he tries to avoid the Podoboo to keep his power-up and accidentally falls into the lava. Second fort in this world is the Navy. This is a pretty quick fort. P speed to the end, no problem. No enemies, no power-ups. There's a power-up, but I don't think anybody ever goes for that one. Alright, he's gonna get a forced end card here. Let's see if he decides to try to make matches. Gets a star. Okay, let's see if he checks his items. He doesn't, so... Keep in mind what Midi's last item was. That's going to be what the star is in the end card. This is a World 6 level. I don't know the difference between this one and the other one that look exactly the same, so... you're not going to get a whole lot of correct level panels out of me. I just play the game. Nobly went ahead and played the fort, which was 8 fort, so... Not a fast fort, so unfortunately going to lose some more time here by playing this. But he doesn't know that, so... For all he knows, they're both required. Still going back to play it, not checking the pipe. When you're in the middle of racing, it's kind of hard to... You see a fort and you just want to play it, so sometimes you don't realize that. You can check the pipe and have no consequences, but... Nobly, one of our newer runners. This bro arena will always have 2 power-ups or 2 item chances. One in the middle of the bottom and the upper right. So if you see the cloud arena, you definitely want to check those before you grab the item, because there's 2 chances at a power-up. Midi gets the nice P-speed in the 3 airship. That's the 3 airship is the worst airship. You can't really P-speed through it until the midway point. It's not a great P-speed setup. It's just a slow airship. My least favorite, at least. Midi gets the wand at about 634 out of the 2nd seed. So decently fast worlds, all things considered. Or he's playing them fast, at least. Alright, World 3 is going to be World 4. No, World 3 is World 3. There's a certain creator's name people like to say when stuff like this happens. Okay, this is kind of ugly. That pipe is useless because it takes him behind a lock, so he's going to have to play this level and then he'll get another pipe check. All the damage boosts for Midi right now. The only level in the game you will find the homing bullet bills. Nobly down to no lives, however, he is entering a new world, so it might be beneficial for him to take a tactical game over to set up, well, to get his lives back. This World 3 is showing to be quite a problem because that pipe takes him to the end that's blocked by a lock, so Midi's going to have to play 2 more levels and a fort. And if this fort does not break, or if this fort breaks the lock that's on the screen, then we know it's not required, so he might have to go searching for the 2nd fort, if there's not a 3rd fort, that is. So... Midi finds 1-6. Normally a pretty fun P-speed strat you can do here, however the enemies are randomized, so can't really count on it. He's going to take the elevator. Just makes that jump, and he's through. Nobly working his way through the Navy. Here's the moment of truth. He's going to check the map, sees the other fort. He's going to play this one, obviously, because it's close. It's the Fortress of Solitude. The Freezer. No tail for the fly under, but he's not going to lose very much time. He's going to break about even because he's got a Fire Flower for the Boom Boom kill. Moment of truth. Does this break that lock? It does, so Midi has to go all the way over. Wait, where's the pipe? Can he take the pipe over there? Yeah, he realizes that he can take this pipe by this bro. So it's not that bad of a setback. But still. Doesn't want to use his anchor because anchors a lot of times can be clouds, so you usually want to set up to use it right before there's a potential level that you could skip just in case. Nobly doing everything that he can to avoid this boss bass. Midi is in, oh, carpet fort, got the bad pattern in the elevator portion. When you get 3 drunk hot feet there, that is a scary moment when you're small. You basically have to stay to, like, almost all the patterns you will avoid any enemy being in the doorway except for this pattern right here. Alright, they managed to stay away this time. Gotta be careful, though. Can't take any hits. Gets Boom Boom down nicely. Nobly is just dancing with this boss bass in this level. Just take your time and you'll get through. Midi headed on his way back. See if he can skip this end card and get into the pipe. He doesn't. So you can get into the pipe without playing the end card if you're quick enough, or if you enter on the right pixel. Midi getting some matches here. Still haven't seen him open his menu. Let's see, stars are hammers, I believe. Then you got a frog suit and a leaf, so the only places hammers are useful are World 6, 3, 2, and 4, and since we have already seen... Oh, just World 3 actually, so still 3 more places that he can use them. Nobly taking, and we find out that the anchor is a frog suit, so not exactly what they want to see, but it's 3 hits nonetheless. Little insurance. Nobly again teetering on gaming over here. He's got to get through this on this try. This is a long world that you do not want to play again. Midi gets another hammer, so he's got 2. Should be good for the rest of the seed. And hammer is not useful. Lovely enemy set. The Nipper set. Luckily he found another Fire Flower, so he can get through there easily. So he's going to skip the 4 panel and probably look at the map. Okay, so it's a 1 fort World 4, and that happens to be the hardest fort in Randomizer, so Midi not stopping for anything. Just damage boosting through, just plowing through like a bull in a china shop. Alright, gets a power up, so he should be safe until the end. He's just got to avoid taking damage in this last little part. And then he will certainly damage boost to the end, I'm guessing. Absolutely. Avoid the boom boom slide here. Alright, he didn't do it, so thankfully. Nobly continuing to press on with 0 lives, so he doesn't want a game over. He wants to play through. Can't blame him. Would lose him about 20 seconds, so. Alright. Midi is finishing up World 4 using a star here instead of music boxing. Gets a lucky power up in the Hammer Bros stage, back to full power. Probably just gonna play the 1. This is 3-2. I think I've seen this. I've seen the stage 4 times today during commentary. Midi utilizing the cheap cheeps to propel him towards the end. Didn't get hitboxed, which is nice. Let's see what Iggy has in store for us today on the World 7 airship. Midi gonna go for P-speed here, gets caught a little bit but manages to duck under with no problem. 2 big jumps towards the end. And he's through. Alright, what does Hoppy have today? Well, he's hopping, that's for sure. Got a weird hitbox on that huge head of his. But no problem for Midi, a 2-hitter. Some soft Koopas today. We really haven't had any big hitters. So it looks like Nobly did finally succumb to the last life that he had, so gonna have to start over, unfortunately. That's gonna set him back quite a ways. Gonna have to beat these 2 levels that he already played. This is an interesting too, because there's a lock blocking the initial path. Midi thankfully has a hammer, so he might be able to bypass all of that. Otherwise, he would have had to play the pyramid, panel 3, and the quicksand, only to play level 1, and then potentially have to play. This is like a complete reverse world of 2. Just about. If you reverse engineered 2, it's like exactly. If you didn't have a hammer, would have had to play it backwards. And speaking of which, the 2 fort is in 2. Fred. Durf, if you want Fred backwards. Will this be the fort to do it? Or is he gonna have to play another one? Okay, it didn't break that lock. That is the fort that's gonna do it. Checking the anchor for a cloud. Don't blame him. You don't want to get to World 8 with a bunch of anchors only to find out that they're clouds. Frog Suit actually going to help here. As long as he can avoid all the enemies. Swimming is far faster than taking that escalator and doing the jumps. Alright. He's gonna have to play this bro. Really dry on power-ups. He's got a hammer and a frog suit. Cloud is nice, though. Not great in terms of if you're trying to, you know, survive some difficult levels, but can skip a nasty one. Orton is heavy, and that's 2 hits. 3 hits. Vanilla hits, however, he's heavy. I don't know if they've had a Koopa over 3 hits in either seed. They all seem very soft. Alright, what worlds do we have left? I haven't been keeping track. I think we have World 6 and 7 again? Yeah, 6 and 7 are our final worlds again. Gets a hammer just for good measure. Gonna hold on to the cloud, play the hand stage. Can't remember if I don't think they've seen a hand stage in this seed. The last one it was a music box. This is going to be a P-Wing, so much more useful. Oh, Nobly. Choosing to just go ahead and use the hammer again. This is gonna either loop right here or take us somewhere else. And it takes us right here. Could still be a good pipe, though. 1 fort. So there was a few 10 panels, so I believe this is only going to be a 1 fort World 6, and he knows where it's at, so. Prepping for Fort Knox. Guess is wrong on the power-up, however, P-Wing is not that bad of a power-up to have in this fort. You can just avoid all the riffraff in the beginning. Oh, there's a strat I've never seen before. Just duck flying underneath him the whole time. Nice. He's not going to check the map to the left. I don't think there was a fort over there, so. Has a tail, so he can't do the P-Speed strats, however he gets Fire Flower and stomps the Paragoomba and snipes Lakitu at the same time, so. Still not using his cloud, not quite sure if he's home free, so I don't blame him. However, World 7 has a tendency sometimes to not have a place where you can use a cloud, so options are running thin as Nobly completes World 3, beats Wendy, and gets through to World 4. Nice. Midi finds the iceberg, the beta stage. That's a very straightforward P-Speed strat or regular strat. There's not really much that stands in your way. One of their easier levels. And let's see, yep. Just like I thought, 1 world, or 1 fort, World 6. Not too bad of a 6. About average, I would say. Good arena to fight Lemmy in. He's gonna go for the fire kill. It's 8, just don't kill him on the same frame, something or other. It'll make the Koopa Kid fall through the floor. We've seen that a couple times in tournaments and in weeklies, but he manages to avoid it. Nobly taking a death to reset on the lives. So he's back to 5 total. And Midi is going to be going into World 7 at about 24:55. So Vanilla World 6, Vanilla World 7, both seeds. Interesting. Midi finds a lock. He can't go to the left. He's going to check this pipe. He's going to find 4 more pipes. Is that 3 forts that I see? It's 2 locks for sure. And he's going to play 6F1. Gets a lucky star there. It's always nice to get that if you're comfortable with the movements. You can sail right over the spikes, keep all your power-ups. You love to see it. Tricky jump, however. Midi's a little overzealous there, jumps on the spikes before getting the star. However, he will get his bro. Star kill on Boom Boom. Okay, so if there was a lock that needed to be broken, that would be the one that you want to see. Because out of the locks that we can currently see, that is the only one that blocks some sort of progression. So he's going to use a star and sail through the first piranha stage. He's going to get an item at the end. If he can avoid all these fireballs, very nice dodging on Midi's part, and he gets a wonderful, useful hammer that will not be appearing in the seed because it is no longer useful whatsoever. Okay, so finds his way to the final island. He's gonna save his tail, the leaf, which I don't blame him, since it's the only power-up that he has left. Manages to get P-Speed in the second Piranha Fort. It's gonna get another power-up here. Another P-Wing, okay. Not bad since he hasn't seen... So he hasn't seen Fort Knox yet. He's got a tail and a P-Wing, so... Not bad power-ups to have. Nobly is doing his best to get through 7F2. Struggling just a little bit. Gets a power-up for some safety. He's got to get through the swamp without taking a hit. He does. Ludwig is a heavy one-hitter. Another soft Koopa Kid. Bowser's generals are doing a lot of bossing around and not a lot of leading because they have all been very soft today. Another fairly long seed, if not average. He's going to be heading into World 8 at about 28:05, so probably on pace for around a 34-minute seed if 8 is average. Look at this vanilla setup. The tank and the Navy on the same screen with the same pipe layout. They're only switched. And we're playing 3F2 in World 8 because, of course, because the seed needed to be validated instead of the Navy. Nobly trying to avoid this boss bass. Gets going for the power-up. I don't blame him at all. You're small, you're taking hits left and right. You just gotta get through the stage without dying. That's how... Anybody out there that wants to save time on their rando runs, just don't die. Easier said than done. Sounds ridiculous, but Even if you have to really take your time to not die, that's how you're going to start shaving minutes off your seeds. So Mini gets a nice star here. Allows for the vanilla P-speed for the second half of the stage. Nice. There's a pipe behind this. This will not break a lock, however, because there's a pipe that he might need to go in. He might as well play it. And since he played it, he's just going to check the second pipe right now anyways. And that's another ugly hand bridge that we might need to play. We'll see. That's a lock. That's 2 locks. 2 locks, he's beaten 1 fort. So, 2 bridges max. Continuing with the pipe checks. Okay, so that fort might still be required on the hand bridge. However, he's not going to need to get to that pipe. Right now, he is going back to start, I think. Because he did not check this first pipe. Probably going to go to the hand stage, or the dark world. There it is. This pipe is going to take us to the end. How many bridges do we need? It's built. It's 1 bridge. Midi in the driver's seat. 1-3. He doesn't want anything to do with it. So another fast seed for Midi. That's 5 pretty quick seeds and 1 slow, but not, 38 minutes, that's not that slow. So Midi is really putting himself in great position to be the 1 seed coming out of group play. I haven't seen anybody have not even close to the times of seeds that he's been able to put up with the draws that he's gotten. So he's going to check for a fire flower here before he will probably take the bottom route again, and he does. Star makes it nice going through this last area with these tight jumps. He's going to check. Alright, so no fire kill or hammer kill on either seed for Midi Guy. He doesn't care. Just get me through this hallway, get me out of this seed, and get me into the brackets. Barring a catastrophe, Midi is going to make it to the brackets with a perfect 6-0 seed, or perfect 6-0 record, and a very, very fast average time. Two more jumps. And he's going to seal his trip to the brackets. Get your GGs in chat for Midi Guy, who obtains a perfect 6-0 record, moves on to the bracket stage, and wins this race with a official time of 32:54. Get your GGs in chat. See if we can get him in here for an interview. Nobly has had enough of Mario 3 today, and I can't really blame him. I took some tough deaths, a game over, got a feel for him. Looks like we're about to have both of them in the commentator's booth. And with that, we have MidiGuyDP and NoblytheForeign in the commentator booth. GG to both of you.
Yo, GG.
GG.
Midi, you finally got a long seed.
Yeah, I guess it was about time. Oh, I mean, it was looking not too bad, and then World A was like, yeah, I'm gonna be mean. on that first one.
Yep, you moved to 6-0 after this, and honestly, you've had some pretty good draws. Your seeds have been very quickly, so you have a very good shot at getting the 1 seed into brackets. How do you feel about that?
That is pretty dang hype. I'll have to wait and see once everyone has played. That's for sure. But overall, I do feel like I did pretty dang good overall on all 6 races. And I had a few hiccups on this second seed right here. Well, not many overall. The only part was like that 6F3 fort with the hot foot pattern that I could not decode where to jump right there, and took a death on the first try.
Yeah, easily the worst pattern you can get. Nobly had some trouble. The game over in World 3 of the second seed was really unfortunate. Kind of tougher seeds. How do you feel about the seeds today?
I felt great about the first seed.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun. To be fair, the first seed was okay. It was just that I don't know which level it is. It's World 2 something with the red rocket shell on the end.
Oh yeah, yeah. Both
Yeah.
seeds today. I believe that's 2, 3. Both of those today were not very kind to you guys at all. Lots of fire and boss bass. There was one point that you had boss bass like 3 or 4 times in a row, which you never want to see. So
Yeah, that's fun times. That's for sure. One interesting thing, probably the most standout thing on this whole race for me anyway, and in World 8 of the first seed. Yay, Atlantis right there on the way. I knew that was the way to Bowser, that's for sure. So I was like, oh geez, I gotta get through this. And of course it wouldn't let me go. It took me 5 tries to get through the first time just to check. And of course I needed a bridge, so I had to go back. And then I think I got grabbed 2 more times, or once. I can't remember, but anyway. Luckily I picked the right fort on the way back to where I needed to go. And then made my way back afterwards, wasn't grabbed again. What else stood out on this seed?
yeah, that was actually my next question for you, because you saw Atlantis, you got grabbed 4 or 5 times, you make it through, you see you got to go back, and then it's like you got 2, 3 lives left, I think, and it's like you're still getting grabbed by Atlantis. If you game over, you got to beat the first panel on the hand bridge. Were you panicking a little bit at that point?
Well, I was contemplating whether or not to actually play Atlantis to avoid the game over, but that other panel isn't too long, so I think I would have just stayed committed to just try to skip over the hand stage every time, just because it's Atlantis, and I mean every death you take, it adds up anyway. So you'd have to like go through quite a long level regardless. So yeah. Interesting other thing I noticed in this: both seeds finished with worlds 5, 6, 7, 8. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I was worried that I hosted up the wrong seed when we started this one as well. The second one. Because it was the same level as the first one, so I was like, did I put in the right seed?
yeah, I know. It started immediately with World 5. But that's right, both seeds started with World 5 as well. That was like, wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, the only worlds randomized were the other 4. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah. Hardly even randomized at that point.
Yeah. Though upon playing these, I felt like I really did a good routing in the second World 7, as after analyzing, I've noticed that there's, regardless of how many forts there are, there's like 99% of the time there's gonna be at least one guaranteed lock or bridge in your way, at least. So when I saw that World 7 and I saw a level 9 tile on the second race, I was almost 100% sure that that lock that was blocking the piranha was led into the pipe needed to go. So I just had to find that fort and play it, and I was like on my way right there. And I've also noticed that if in World 6, hammer rocks don't obey this logic, I do not believe. So, I mean, usually in World 6, if let's say I just got a bunch of hammers and I'm like, okay, it's like I definitely gotta try that pipe in back of the rock. I'm like, okay, first thing I'm doing, I'm just gonna go try that pipe immediately, and if I'm lucky, it could literally just lead me right to the end of the world, because it could go right on the other side of a otherwise required lock to get through. In this case, it didn't work out, but I know it worked out for Teeks in the race that we did the 4-way on, and yeah.
Right. I mean, you got nowhere else to use the hammer. You might as well use it there and just check that pipe right off the bat. You also had a pretty heads-up play in the desert world. It was basically, if you didn't have that hammer, it was like a reverse World 2. You would have had to play like 3 levels, then 1 fort before you could get to the fort that you actually needed to play. Luckily, you had a hammer, so you were able to skip all that. But yeah, that was one of the crazier layouts of a world that I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that level 2 was interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you wind up going backwards in World 2 like that. That's always interesting to see, that's for sure.
Yep. Do you guys have any final thoughts on the race and the seed today, or the tournament in general?
I wish I could get further into seed number 2, but the first level kind of got me, so... And then afterwards we get I don't know which level it is, but that was a horrible place to place that if you didn't have a mushroom.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Midi, you left the tanks with a mushroom. Nobly took a little bit of damage, so he had to play through 7-6 in that second seed. So that was pretty unfortunate set of circumstances.
I assume it was a Nipper enemy set or something like that?
The enemy set wasn't too bad, but just the fact that no power up, you had to go through the whole thing. It was not the best draw for one of your first
the
levels.
worst part is that I got hit by a pixel graphic that I didn't even realize was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
you guys had to play 7-1 first in the first seed too. I was loving that.
Yeah, I was contemplating literally taking a death on that one and going to play another level just in the hopes of getting a mushroom just so I could clip through that. But in the end, I was like, okay, I'll just play through it. I'm already going up pipes anyway, so probably.
Yeah, if the enemy set was worse, that definitely would have been a decent play to make.
Yeah, it was actually pretty tame. Often 7-1 winds up having fire nippers. It's pretty common when you think about it. Overall, these so it's always nice when you can actually clip that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was laughing when I tried to get my power up, but the fire nipper decided that he was not giving me anything. That was fun.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have any other thoughts before we end the show here?
Well, I'm just happy I've improved a bit, because last time I didn't even get to like 4 or 5 playing MIDI, so...
Progress always feels good, that's for sure.
Yeah, good.
And,
Keep at it.
And it's definitely a nice achievement to have managed to actually do a 6-0. That's a first for me, that's for sure. I know last year I think I did a 5-1, I believe, and I think that was the group I was with. I think there was Magoo's Adorable, Paradox, and I can't remember who else was with us on that one, but yeah, that's quite the feeling. I'm looking forward to seeing how the bracket turns out after all this, and looking forward to seeing how all the other matches go, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting into the bracket and seeing what's gonna go on with that. That's for sure.
Yep, you now have the luxury of just sitting back and waiting. So congrats to you on the 6-0 and the bracket appearance. That's gonna do it for us on Speed Gaming 3. Stay tuned, folks. There's more Mario 3 Randomizer tournament coming up later at 9 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2. Shark Kid is going to be playing Stewie Cartman, and Mitch Flower Power is going to be playing Jay Coper. So plenty of more Mario 3 Randomizer, Mario 3 Randomizer to get you through the rest of this Sunday. For Speed Gaming 3, I'm DLP 316. Come on back, folks, and have a good rest of your day.
Take care, everybody.